I didn't have a day planner in my hand and a to-do list that was 2 pages long, I was not okay. I would carry that thing around in my arms like it was a baby and tote it around like it was my security blanket. So when I first bought that day planner, it had to have a zipper around the outside so nothing can get out and everything can stay inside, neatly organized. And that planner is what drove me. It was a sign of my busy life and my demanding schedule in my super successful career. That planner contained everything in there, my appointments, my meetings, my schedules. And I was always running to those. I was running to everything outside of me. And in all that running, I realized I was running away from myself. And it's important to come back to yourself because when you can do that, you can stop doing and start being. And not only is being enough, it's the secret to everything in life. I've been in the corporate world for over 30 years, working for multi-million-dollar international corporations, and I've been in leadership positions since 2002 there. And I can tell you this, worth does not come from a paycheck. Worth has nothing to do with what's outside there and everything to do with what's inside here. And in fact, statistics actually show that 47% of United States working adults get more worth through their professional careers than they do their personal lives. And I was one of that 47%. So I want to share with you how I was running away from myself. So I grew up with really humble beginnings. I had two very loving, dedicated, and hardworking parents. And they instilled in my sister and I at a very young age that you can do anything that you want to do. You just have to work hard and get your education. So that's what I did. I graduated with my design degree and I landed a stellar career in the manufacturing industry. So I went out and I had dreams and goals and a vision. And I was working 50 and 60 hours a week and I was accomplishing and I was doing and I was achieving and I was earning and I was successful. And I was getting job offers from other companies who wanted me to join their teams and I was getting promoted. I was traveling all over the world and I was attending glamorous and important events and I felt worthy. And I realized that I was growing hard. But that's okay. I was going to keep accomplishing and achieving. So at about that time, I was realizing I was making this huge impact on the world, internally on my team, but our customers by the millions around the world. And I had this important job. But I started noticing that some of my friends, they had families and I had failed relationships. I was getting sick all the time. I was breaking down. I was burning out. I was on the hamster wheel that kept going at thousands of miles a minute. It was like overwhelm, exhaustion, burnout, breakdown. It was a lot, and that was taking me far, but I wasn't even wearing the color pink. I was wearing black and white. Everything became linear and focused, and I was cold, hard, and alone. And I was going right along on this journey for decades, decades, until this moment, this one moment that what I call, I had this God moment. And I walked into our local art museum. Now, as an artist and designer, I get a lot of inspiration through artwork, and I'm an artist. So that day, I was going through some really, really difficult times in my personal life, some painful ones, and professionally, we had some real challenges, and I was working through those with myself and my team. And I walked through the art museum that day and it was cold. Now, art museums are cold because they preserve the artwork, but there was an unusual chill in the air. It was later in the day, so it was dark in there and there were shadows everywhere and there wasn't much light coming in and it was quiet. So as I'm walking through one of the galleries, I came upon the suit of armor. And as an artist, I also love to work in metal. I sculpt metal sculptures, and so I'm very drawn to metal artwork. So the suit of armor, it really struck me, and I was inspired by it. So as I'm looking in this magnificent suit of armor, and I'm just noticing the colors and the textures of the metal. And I'm getting closer and I'm noticing the little details on this suit of armor. And suit of armor, they're made of steel. And then I started noticing what goes into making a suit of armor. And I'm thinking, well, there's people that this is made for, and there's little slits for the eyes because they're there to be protected. They're there to battle and go out and fight wars. So as I'm really getting into this and my mind is thinking, I'm becoming inspired, I lose all track of my day, what's going on at work, and I'm just in the moment. And as I was discovering this one part of the suit of armor, there was like this polished area. And I noticed in that moment, I saw my reflection and I noticed I was in that suit of armor. I was suiting up with that heavy armor every single day of my life. I was waging a war and a battle in my own mind. And in that moment is when I surrendered and I fell to my knees and I just let go. And I didn't know what to do anymore. And I was terrified. Terrified. So I just sat there. And thank God nobody was in the art museum because I had this place that was inside me that was like welling up from deep within me like a volcano. And it rose and it came up and out and they were tears. I could finally cry. I could finally feel my tears. And it was like a rainstorm, like a torrential downpour on a 20-year drought in a parched desert. And I just let it all up and out, up and out. And it felt good. And I just allowed it. And you know what happened next? I started feeling all my feelings, the painful ones that I also discovered I was running away from. And I just allowed that up and out. And I realized I was running away from myself. So what I learned is that when I ran away from myself, I was running away to everything that was outside there because I was trying to prove myself. I was handing away my power and I was trying to prove my worth because I didn't feel, as a woman, as a leader, as a human being, that I was good enough, that I was worthy enough, that I was enough. And when I realized that, that's when I said, I am going to learn how to crawl back to myself and learn how to walk back to myself. And I learned how to do that. And that's the moment that I said, I am going to trade in that suit of armor and trade in that day planner for experiences that nourished me and that fed the wealth of my soul. And when I did that, then I was able to come back to myself and to go within and to slow down and to source from within inside me that innate strength and my gifts and talents. And I could bring those out to the world and ask, what does the world need from me? I was able to take that and bring that into my work to source from my true strengths as a natural and powerful leader. I was able to find my voice, my true voice, and to use it. And I was able to set up fierce boundaries so that I could say no to things that no longer served me and my teams, and I could say yes to life. So when I did that, I was able to start my meetings. Now, who does this in the corporate world, especially these big corporations? I start my meetings with my management team saying, okay, one word opener. We're going to go around the table right now at the beginning of this meeting. And I want you to tell me in one word, how are you feeling in this moment? And that brings the human beingness into that corporate environment. I started wearing pink. My life changed. And I couldn't be happier. And you know, the crazy thing is, I am more successful now, and I am wholehearted, and I am happier now than I've ever been. But the difference is I've done it on my terms. So I've had so many experiences since that God moment that I had in my life. And I think I want to share with you, I think the 5 most impactful things that I want to gift to you from my experience and allowing me to share this with you. So, first, slow down. Slow down long enough to come back to yourself, to get off the treadmill, to get off the hamster wheel, and to really be in the moment, live the moment. And when I was able to do that, I was able to have better communication, better present moment communication, because I wasn't 2 steps ahead and thinking of having a solution and a plan and always trying to prove myself and be out there. Which leads me to my second point, which is trust. When I learned how to trust myself, I could stop doing and start being. I was then able to trust others with discernment and the universe and know that I've got my own back and the universe has my back. And I don't need that day planner anymore because I trust myself so much, I'll know what to do. And number 3, self-love. Self-love. When I was able to walk back to myself, I was able to love myself and fall in love with myself. That enabled me to have better relationships with my family and my colleagues and my friends. And the best part, I was able to magnetically attract in to my life, because like attracts like, you attract who you are. My husband, and we've been together now for many years and married and still going strong. So we've got slowing down, we have trust, self-worth, which leads me to my 4th point, innate power. When I realized that there is a wellspring within inside me, grounded and connected, that I could source from that was always there, I realized that that's the place I could go to bring out my true power and my true essence, my true strengths, and live in that place. That has made me a better leader and a better human being fierce for my life and my desire to live with pleasure and joy and enoughness. So my 5th and final point, that is all about self-worth. It's enoughness. And I want to have an international conversation right here, right now, about the power of enoughness, the power of self-worth. Because when we do this, we stop trading away our value and our self-worth for everything that's outside there. And we are able to come back to ourselves for everything that's inside here. And I'll never forget the day when my amazing life coach said to me, Susan, it is your birthright to have anything that you want. And I said, wait, what? What did you just say? And then I had to understand that. And I had to let that soak in and believe that. And that took years. But then I realized that I am enough. I am strong enough. I am powerful enough. I am enough. I am worthy enough. There is enough. And I am good enough. So when I stopped running away from myself and I was able to walk back to myself, I walked back to peace and love and joy and strength, true strength, and happiness and pleasure and all of these magnificent things that I now have in my life. And I realize it is my birthright to have all of these things. So I want for all of you to know that if you can just slow down long enough and to look at yourself and see where might you be running away from something, and come back to yourself, because I'm here to tell you that you are worthy enough, you are strong enough, there is enough, you are powerful enough, you are good enough, and that just by you being born, you have the privilege and you get to be exactly who you are, and that's what the world needs. Thank you.